Mobile Legends under fire for signing exclusivity contracts with orgs, denying their ability to sign Wild Rift rosters. Here is what I think about it.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you, just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with
Yo guys, how's everyone doing? This is your guy AssassinDave. Welcome back to the foreign famous family again. Recently, there are quite a hot wave of pressure on Twitter talking trash on Mobile Legends developers signing exclusivity contracts with their orgs. I'm here to share some of my thoughts on this and also just some of the things I experienced when I was playing pro and when I was working in the esports scene, working with some of the biggest mobile orgs title in the world. Now, before we get started guys, I know more than half of y'all beautiful sexy people watching have yet to join the coolest, greatest, and baddest family in the world of Mobile Legends. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash the like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells for the YouTube algorithm. I upload videos on a daily basis to keep you guys entertained and informed. And remember to re-download your Mobile Legends with a link in description for 20% extra diamonds. If you'd love to watch me in real life sharing some incredible mukbang experience, make sure to subscribe to my new mukbang channel, Dave and CC, with the link in description. Love y'all, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, this whole thing actually all started from an unofficial Wild Rift news channels, Wild Rift Competitive, and they tweeted several esports orgs, including Bigatron Esports, may be required to release their Wild Rift roster as a result of signing an exclusivity contract with Moonton, restricting them to be able to compete only in Mobile Legends and thus denied the right to field a Wild Rift team. And then I did some digging around, find some articles to read, and there's one article come from Esports Observer that kind of explained a more complete version of the story, including some comments from different people from different perspectives. Now, before we get into the article, I want to first say that this is not a big deal at all. In fact, I think it makes a lot of sense for Moonton to do what they did with the exclusivity contract, and it's actually a common practice among a lot of games in the esports scene. And I will actually explain some of my experiences working with a lot of big orgs later after I read the article, so you guys can get a better perspective of why certain game developers like to do exclusivity contracts and why some games would not. First, let's get into this article. Esports organizations participating in Mobile Legends could be forced to drop or never sign a team for Wild Rift due to sign an exclusivity contract with developer Moonton, according to a report by Wild Rift news outlet Wild Rift Competitive. Team Secret CEO Zhang Yao weighed in on the report on Facebook, noting that the ability to participate in multiple titles is crucial to the survival of esports organizations. He also indicated that compensation from Moonton would have to be substantial to justify such an exclusive deal. Team Secret recently entered Wild Rift, making the organization expansion into the Philippines. Now, the fact that Team Secret just joined Wild Rift does give a lot of context why their CEO would come out and try to bash Mobile Legends on this. But obviously, as a CEO for an organization, Zhang Yao has also said that compensation from Moonton would have to be substantial to justify such an exclusive deal. Now, the question is, what is the deal between Moonton and some orgs in Indonesia, in SEA? Now, I certainly don't know that, and I don't think that Zhang Yao, the CEO of Team Secret, knows about that either. And for those who haven't checked out my video regarding the net worth of Just No Limit, who is a pro player that's part of an esports org in SEA in Indonesia that happened to have a net worth of $20-something million, just that person alone. And he's only a part of an MPL organization in Indonesia. Just to show you that the MPL orgs, the official ones, are actually quite profitable. At least they're worth a lot of money. And I heard it cost them millions of dollars to get a spot in MPL. That's why it's really, really competitive over there. Now, a lot of you guys watching probably watch a lot of pro players who stream on different platforms that's outside of YouTube, the pro players that belongs to those MPL orgs, and you probably know those players make a lot of money every night they stream. And all of those are tied to an organization, okay? And all of those are because Mobile Legends. This whole thing actually reminded me the same experience I had when I was working with the biggest game, the biggest mobile MOBA on the planet, Honor of Keen. I was working with a lot of pro orgs in China, and one of the players, just for org transfer fee coming from one org to another, takes about $2 to $3 million US dollars. The net worth for those players are insane. Obviously, when Zhang Yao was talking about like, yeah, you know, maybe Moonton's paying all those teams a lot of money. Sure, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of money tied up in those contracts, in those relationships. I guess what I'm trying to say here is we don't know those details. And because we don't know those details, it's irresponsible to assume or speculate exactly what are the strings attached, how much stakes are on the line. But from all possible evidence that we can find, the stake is really, really high. Imagine all these orgs, they were nothing before MPL. They were nothing before Mobile Legends. They got popular, they got big because of this game. And now as an organization, you're just gonna throw all of that under the water? Come on, like if you are Moonton, for example, if you're the developer, how would that make you think? It's like your best friend stealing your girlfriend or sleeping with your wife or something. Like the best friend that you spend your whole life with, and you got a really hot girlfriend, all of a sudden that guy just steals your girlfriend away. It's the same feel. And just for some additional reference, when I was in China working as a caster for the King Pro League, they have really strict exclusivity rules, okay? Like as a caster, I was not supposed to play any other game on stream. I was not supposed to show anything of like that possibly promote any other game on stream or in public. If I do that, I'll be fine. I'll be fired even. So this is not just a Moonton doing it. There are a lot of companies, it's a common practice in the competitive scene, in the esports scene. In fact, when I was actually playing pro for Immortals, they have a team called LA Valiant that is a part of a franchise for Overwatch, the PC games, and they were not supposed to play anything on stream either. Like they have a lot of exclusivity rules as well. So it just depends on how much stakes on the line. Again, I just want to say we don't know the stakes. And because we don't know the stakes, it's really hard, it's really irresponsible for us to speculate exactly what's going on. Let's go back to the article. While it has not made significant global impact, Mobile Legends is a major esports in Southeast Asia. The region currently is seeing the most esports activity for Wild Rift. Several organizations in the region that field Mobile Legends teams have already signed the Wild Rift roster. European Organizations Alliance also entered the region through Wild Rift earlier this year. This paragraph, especially the first sentence, like that said, while it has not made a significant global impact, Mobile Legends is a major esports in Southeast Asia. The region currently seeing the most esports activity for Wild Rift. I think this paragraph specifically is very irresponsible how they framed it, because it made it sound like Wild Rift is having this huge scene in SEA. Yes, SEA is their biggest esports scene, but the biggest in Wild Rift is super tiny right now. Okay, the biggest region in Wild Rift, we're seeing 4-digit viewership for their official tournaments. And when you talk about Mobile Legends on a global presence, they just started MPL Brazil. There are a lot of stuff going to the Mobile Legends global stage. In fact, M3 is on the line, and now they're announcing more and more tournaments involving North America in the Mobile Legends global tournaments, creating a lot of community tournaments for North America region. Mobile Legends is only gonna get bigger and bigger on a global stage, but this paragraph just made it sound like it's the other way around. You know, Mobile Legends trying to holding on to their dear life, you know, protecting themselves from the possible big-ass threat coming from Wild Rift. Like I said, Wild Rift is getting similar to the Arena Valor experience I had. The game started off with a lot of esports, and look where the game is right now, okay? In SEA, the amount of threat that Wild Rift has towards Mobile Legends is about the same of what Arena Valor did. The only difference is this time it's Riot and Mobile Legends treating it very, very seriously. So if you're a company, if you're a Mobile Legends, wouldn't it make sense for you to protect yourself like against any possible competition? Like I would have done the exact same thing if I am Mobile Legends, right? If I'm the CEO, if I'm executives from that company. It just makes common sense. So I don't understand the big deal. Like a lot of people were bashing me on social media as well, saying, Dave, who is afraid of who now? Like say that again? Who said Wild Rift is destined to fail? All that kind of stuff. Dude, like really get a hold of yourself, right? Really think about this situation. You probably are not good or not suited to start a business, right? I mean, like if you have a business, it's just common sense to protect yourself from any competition. Any business have a goal to become a monopoly, even though that's not allowed in a lot of countries. But if you're a business, wouldn't it make sense for you to do everything it takes to grab as much market share as possible? Like, that just makes common sense to me. So, and then let's read the last paragraph. Exclusivity contracts of this nature are largely non-existent in esports, though some companies have tried to reduce exposure given to competing titles by their esports athletes. An early leaked version of LCS players' contract had a clause that prohibited the live streaming of selected video games. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I just want to say, Trent Murray, the author of this article, is actually again quite irresponsible for him to say that, because exclusive contracts are everywhere. For those who are watching the stream, you probably know Gosu General or Gosu Hoon. They got signed by Twitch exclusively. And they're esports athletes, right? They're pro players. There are a lot of pro players signed by Nemo TV exclusively. And those athletes, those players, those orgs will sign to those contracts voluntarily. It's not like somebody put a gun to their head and forced them to sign a contract. So it's a two-sided, like, voluntary exchange, volunteer agreement. So I don't know what you're complaining about exclusivity contract being largely non-existent. No, that's opposite of the truth, okay? Every time a company could protect themselves to sign exclusivity contract, they would do it. In fact, just the opposite to what Trent Murray, to the author, is saying here. You know, the companies that do not try to sign exclusivity contracts for their franchises, for anything, is the companies that do not have a lot of stake, or simply too small, like Wild Rift is right now, to be able to say, hey, I want to sign exclusivity contract because I think my game, my platform can afford you, can feed you, so you don't need to play any other game, right? You can just play us. There is actually an official Wild Rift developer, esports manager, that came out and said, being receiving multiple inquiries regarding Wild Rift teams in Indonesia, we would like to reassure our players that Riot SCA does not restrict Wild Rift SCA esports team from participating in other mobile esports leagues, and we empower our teams to exercise freedom of choice in this space. Well, this sure sounds really fancy, sure sounds really good. Actually, make Wild Rift sounds pretty good, but if you really think about it, how big is Wild Rift right now? They're actually begging orgs to join the Wild Rift competitive scene. They're trying to sign contracts, they're trying to give orgs money for them to join the Wild Rift competitive scene. But if you look at Mobile Legends MPL, how much money an org have to pay to get a seat, to get a possible entrance into the MPL? It's reversed, okay? So it's actually much easier for the developer from Wild Rift to say this, to make Wild Rift looks a lot better than it is. To be honest, if I'm the developer, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't get myself involved in this area, right? Like, I'm a content creator. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I'm just share my personal opinions with my community, with my audience, with all of you guys, because I love to do that. But once you start representing a company, I'm not sure if this move is... Anyways, what do you guys think about this issue? Leave a comment down below and let me know. I'm all ears. And remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you. Just the thrill of it.